Shalom. First and foremost, Kwahala Yahweh Bashim Yahshai Bashim Rakwakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to all the Yakim all around the world that's noising this word abroad. So, I want to entitle this video, it's called Take Heed to Sound Doctrine. That used to be the title of my channel, which I changed it. But, Salakia. But yeah, it's true. If you're an Israelite and you really, believe in this truth, you got to take heed to sound doctrine. You got to take heed to the truth, because, there's other Israelite camps. There's a lot of other Israelite camps out there, and like Elder Apostle Gabar said, it's up to you to decipher who's teaching the truth, because not all these Israelite camps that you see out here that has a garment on, they're not teaching the truth. Just because a man has a garment on, as the fringes, borders of blue, and he claims to be teaching the truth, but the question is he teaching the 100% truth, Yes, these other Israelite camps are teaching truth, but is it the 100% truth they're teaching? Because you can't be teaching, 50%, or 75% or 80% or 90% truth. You got to really teach the complete 100% truth, because that's just not going to cut it, because, no lies of the truth. It's either you're teaching a 100% truth or you're not, You can't have no errors within the truth, Like, for example, Nate, he's over here teaching that the mark of the beast is sin. How is that accurate? That's not accurate, because like Elder Apostle Kabar said, if the mark of the beast is sin, then we all have, then we all have the mark of the beast. So how is that sin? It doesn't make sense. It just it doesn't add up, You you got one, Israelite camp, ISUBK, teaching that the mark of the beast is sleeping with a white woman. That's not accurate. Then you have other Israelite camps that just don't acknowledge, that the mark of the beast, which is the R, which is the C hip, they're not acknowledging that's the mark of the beast. So it's up to you to really decipher who's teaching the truth and who's not teaching the truth. So let me get this precept here. This is going to be 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3. So it reads, "For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itchy ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables." You see, that's these other Israelite camps. They want to turn their ears from the truth. And what is the truth? The truth is that that the mark of the beast is the C hip, the electronic tag. That's the truth. Because like Scripture says, you cannot buy or sell without that device in your right hand or forehead. And that's what this world is coming to. You look all over social media. News articles. These are the things that are coming up. This whole, C-hip is front and center now. So there's already sources out there already, that's proven our case. That's proven it. That's proven that this C-hip is the mark of the beast. Like the Elder Apostle Gabar always bring out Aaron Russo, the meeting that he had with Nick Rockefeller, You see? So all these sources are out there, proven that this, and even men like Israelites that are not in the truth, they're even agreeing that this sea hip is is the mark of the beast. And these are men that are outside the truth, that are not even in the truth, that are agreeing that this the MOTB is the mark of the beast, that the MOTB is the sea hip Salakia. you know so there's the proof in the pudding right there. But these other camps, they will have you think otherwise. They want to have you think otherwise, you know which they're leading the sheep to the slaughter. Because if you having, your congregation thinking that it's sin, or thinking that it's sleeping with white women, and when this thing gets presented to when Esau presents this thing to the world, you know, you know, and they end up taking it because they don't think that the MOTB is the C hip. So they end up taking it. Now what? Now you got blood on your hands because you misled your sheep. You misled the sheep. You know, you had them thinking that, oh, that the mark of the beast is sin, or sleeping with white women, or an embargo. Or just not acknowledging that the mark of the beast is the C hip, you know. So that blood is going to be on your hands because you didn't take heed to the true sound doctrine of the elder apostles of GMS and on down. So it's up to you to decipher, to take heed to the sound doctrine, which is the 100% truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So let me get another precept here. Okay. So I'm going to get another verse right here. So this is going to be Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. And it reads, To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it's because there is no light in them. You see? So if they speak not according to this word, there is no light in them, because these other camps, they're not speaking according to the word, concerning the truth, the 100% truth, which the 100% truth is that the MOTB is the C hip. That's a part of the truth. That's a major part of the truth. So there's no light in these other camps out there. The only light that they're showing forth is that they're dressing, they're dressing as if they're already in the kingdom already. And these people, especially our people, especially our women, they're intrigued by that. That's what really attracts them. It's because these men look eloquent. They're dressed all sharp, shiny, gold. This is why they got so many followers, because they're intrigued by it. The people are intrigued by what they see. But they're not intrigued of they're intrigued of the outer appearance and not the inner appearance. And the scriptures talk about that too. The scriptures talk about not looking to the outward appearance. Let me just grab that too. Let me see. that real quick. So this is the book of 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or his height, or of his stature, because I refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. You see? So the Lord doesn't look what man seeth, because these people, they look of, the outward appearance. They don't look towards in the heart, And this is why a lot of, people get deceived by these men. Because, these men, they dress eloquently, they have buildings, They look as if they're, in the kingdom already. But this is the things that man seeth, and this is how, men get deceived, and pretty much women too. Because they're looking towards height and stature, Just because these men got some stature and some height, that don't mean that they're teaching the truth. That don't mean that they're men of the Lord. Just because they got, a huge amount of followers, their stature. The Lord don't care about that. The Lord is looking towards the inner, the heart. And we as the hopeful elect, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking after for. We're looking after the heart, We're not looking just because a man got, maybe a large following, or, he's high stature, this, high priest and all, these names and things like that. Not to say that that's wrong though, but that's the title that these men have, and the large amount of followers. But we don't look towards that, the hopeful elect. We look for, the heart, to see if this man is actually teaching the 100% truth. We're looking, doing our own research to see if these things are true. That's what we're about. We're not about appearances or, or looking flashy or anything like that. From the head apostles of GMS on down, we're about teaching the 100% truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So it's up to an individual, to really decipher, who's teaching the 100% truth and who's not. Because the truth is, if you end up taking that C-hip, your your judgment is going to be, thermonuclear missiles. And this is why the Lord said, give them warning from me. This is why we're warning you about this thing, that this is how critical this thing is, though you may not see it. But this thing is very critical. All right, this is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worships the beast in his image and receives his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. You see? So that's the future. That's your future if you take that, take that C-hip. You're going to have the taste of the Lord's damnation. And this is why we're constantly warning the people. We're constantly bringing this information out forth. We're constantly pushing this thing at 1,000 miles per hour. Because you cannot say you've been warned, y'all been warned, about this thing. So, it's important for you to take heed to sound doctrine, to take heed to see who's teaching 100% truth or not. So with that, I'm going to give all praises and glories to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakwakadash. Shalom.